Hi, this is Gail Scott and welcome to my YouTube channel. So this channel talks about different messages that come in from the universe. I'm a galactic channeler and I have been channeling messages from the galactic now probably about 3 years, since the summer of 2018. And the first group that I channeled called themselves Alaster, and they are a very animated group. And over the last 3 years, I've actually tapped into over 24 different groups and collectives and energies that bring messages through when I'm in meditation or when I'm doing sessions with individuals. And so this particular channeling that I'm going to tell you about today is from a group that call themselves the Committee for Universal Messages. And I was not aware that there was a committee, but this is how they have named themselves. And what they are is they're a group of energies that coordinate all of the different messages that are coming through to us right now on the planet. And so they obviously are kind of in charge of what comes through me, because their first question was, well, we asked if you wanted to channel, and they suggested that I channel about some controversial topics such as the vaccine or sex. And these are both topics that I certainly could speak on. And I have done work around individuals and sexuality, sensuality, tantric practices, and life coaching in general around relationships. However, my response to them in the channeling experience was, well, we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. And so they said, okay, well, you were never one to pass up an opportunity on channeling or the opportunity to talk about different things. So here goes. They said, we're an energy that coordinates messages from different parts of the universe. And in fact, there are many beings and galactic councils and deities and messengers that are currently bringing forward messages to humanity. And if you Google channeling or ascension or consciousness or 3D to 5D, you're going to find lots of people with YouTube channels and channels on Telegram and different kinds of media where they are bringing forward messages from all different kinds of energies across the universe. And that could be your spirit guide. It could be a big group of a collective, similar to the ones that I bring through, or it could be a particular deity like Archangel Michael. And it really just depends on who that person is that's channeling and who they are accessing. And it also depends, certainly in my personal individual sessions with people, who those people's guides are. So sometimes I will bring in different goddesses or the Christ consciousness, or even councils and collectives that work with other individuals who are galactically connected. So they said, we actually have access to many of these communications. And prior to me channeling Alaster in 2018, I was already channeling through my writing and through my intuition, different energies that I have now become aware of were really coming through me. And at that time, I really just didn't understand what it was all about, but now I have a much, much better understanding of it. So my hope today is to give you a little bit more information about what's going on and why channeling is happening on our planet right now, and why the groups that are coming through me are so useful for us, and how this is really a new era that we're moving into with this channeling communication that we're getting. Because if you look past, in the past decades, we had Seth and we had Abraham, and we've had different, Edgar Casey and different experts who were bringing forward different messages. And now this is coming forward more and more as our planet upgrades. And if you want to be kind of where the action is spiritually, so to speak, then this is really what you want to be listening to, is some of these channeled messages, because they are just so interesting and so inspiring, and they will help you They will help you so much to kind of tap into your own wisdom and give you some sense of serenity in this chaos that we're currently living. So they said, they're talking about me at this particular moment. So you've accessed many different groups who in this moment are assisting humanity and planet Earth with this transition from 3D to 5D. So if that's not a term that you're familiar with, if you're just being introduced to this, then I do have another video that explains a lot more detail what it means to be moving from 3D to 5D. So please check that out. And recognizing that this really is a huge, important transition for us as a planet. And this is new, okay? This is not something that, you know, in the last 5 years or 10 years, even 20 years was kind of mainstream knowledge. So our consciousness, meaning our self-awareness of how we exist and who we really are on the planet, has really been elevated now. And so now we're kind of speaking a different language for those of us who are really into this and interested in it. And it is a little kind of woo-woo and new age, but it's where we're going. It is really where we're going. So I really encourage you to kind of take a dive into it and start to explore it for yourself. Because what this means is that our planet and ourselves as a species, we're creating a new energy. They're calling it a new dimension because it's the 5th dimension, but it's also a new structure and a new way of being for us on the planet, and not just for us as humans living on planet Earth, but for all the species that are here, including the plants. So you might wonder what life is going to be like once this is all said and done. But what they've told me in this message is that there really is no end, and we shouldn't really be looking to the destination when it's all done. We really should be living from that saying of, you know, it's not the destination that matters, it's the journey, because as a species and as a planet, we are in this journey together. It's kind of a joint effort, and the joy comes in the journey. And that's when you think about mindfulness and you think about being in the moment. If you're not in the journey, if you're constantly thinking about where you're going to get to and what it's going to be like when you get there, then you're not actually enjoying your current present moment. And at the end of the day, that's really all that we have, is the present moment. And, you know, there's that old saying, you know, it's a gift. That's why they call it the present. So are you in the present, or are you right now living your life from a place of, well, when everyone is vaccinated, or when this thing all kind of comes down and is finished? Well, life's not really like that. And that is definitely not what is going to be happening moving forward. So they've said, well, you might not think that there is much joy right now on the planet because there's a lot of things happening. Yes, there are a lot of things happening, and there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's almost this sense of, well, let's wait and see what happens. That's the kind of approach that many people are taking, and that's fine, but that's not living in the present moment, enjoying what you have right now, enjoying the journey. That's kind of really being in limbo. And that's not what you're here for. You're not here to live in limbo. You're here to live in life and really enjoying every moment, recognizing that this is the moment. This is what you've got. So be conscious of it, be aware of it. The other thing is that they're saying, as long as we stay looking at everything from an individualistic point of view, we're never going to have harmony. And there have been moments in time when humanity has risen up together in unity, but those moments have been fleeting. And so this is really what's creating the shift that we're in now. This need for us to connect together as a unit and recognize that we're one family and we're all in this journey together. Even if different people in families are making different choices, that's okay. We still need to come from a place of love and acceptance that each person is on their own path and they get to make their own choices, and we can still love them. And in fact, if we just love them, that's really one of the answers to harmony, is to be okay with other people's choices. And that is something that many of us are certainly struggling with right now based on some of the things that are going on in our world. But we're creating a new world. You see, there has to be breakdown before there's breakthrough. And anyone who's done any personal growth is going to know that you have to have one of those dark nights of the soul before you can really pull yourself out and make decisions that change your life. And that's really what's happening right now on our planet, because we're moving into a very different kind of energy. This 5D energy, it's about harmony and peace and love and contentment. And what they've said to me is that it's not going to be quiet and boring, because God forbid that be the life that we live. That's not what we want as humans. It's going to be filled with love and longing and excitement. And this has already been explained in other messages. And not everyone actually is going to move forward into this energy. So if you're struggling with that, you can listen to some of the other videos. They talk a little bit more, where I talk a little bit more about what they've told me about that. So we as a species, why are we going through this experience right now? Well, we've evolved through a lot of trauma in the past, a lot of pain, a lot of difficulties, almost despite ourselves, because there has been another faction in control of our planet and of our species. And again, you're going to think this sounds like it's out of a movie, but it is not. It is real. And this other species that has been existing on our planet is a hybrid species. And they're not, the channeling that came through, they're not willing to give me any more information on this because it doesn't matter. Because this particular hybrid species cannot survive in the 5D environment. They cannot live in this upgrade. They live with fear and that kind of controlling kind of environment. And that's no longer what we're going to have. So they are, in essence, removing themselves. But there are certain ones right now who are really attempting to hold on for dear life. But they will be unsuccessful and they will leave. And of course, this is not a quick fix. It's not like all of a sudden they're just all going to leave. It takes time. We're evolving. We're evolving as a species. We're evolving as a planet. And so it will take time for them to move out and for us to create our heaven on earth. And so some things, have to just run their course at this point in time. So what is important right now is that we as a humanity need to understand that we need to learn to love one another again. And they really suggest it's like coming home. And this is something that actually was in one of my other channeling videos about coming home. So it's a sense of, when you're hearing this message, can you come back to yourself? And in coming back to yourself, can you come back to everyone else so that we can bring back unity to our planet? And really understand that we all have to bring care and concern to our environment and begin to live with more respect and deep love for one another. And what that will do is it will build back community and it will revise our family structure so that we're less segregated, less separated, and really coming from this place of we're all in it together. And it's going to show up in different ways and it's going to take time. And this is the journey. Like, this is the journey that we're on, going from where we've been to where we're going. Again, they've said it will not transform overnight, but will evolve and grow as we create it. So we're creating this in the journey that we're having right now on planet Earth. So they've said, well, there's no point hurrying to get to the destination, to get to the end, because there is no end. It is an ongoing evolutionary process. Now, they've said this new timeline that we're moving into, this 5D experience, is, they're saying, well, it's not fraught with challenges. However, it's not a smooth ride. And so they're saying, recognize that there are going to be challenges for you. It's going to be difficult, but it's nothing that we can't handle. So just, you have to really get this. There's nothing that's going to come down the pipeline that we cannot handle. Yes, you might need to grow. You might need to go into a dark night of the soul. You might need to have some breakdown happening. But that's how we move forward. That's how we grow. That's how we evolve. That's how we begin to discover who we really are and be able to be in this new community, in this new family of planet Earth, humanity on planet Earth. And that's how we're going to move forward into this new energy. So they're also saying that the results we're going to get down the road are actually going to be different from any results we've ever had before. So whatever we've achieved in the past is done, and we're now moving forward into different results. Because before, harmony wasn't our goal. Growth was our goal. And because we're moving forward into harmony, it's a different kind of destination. It's rather than forwarding the action, it's evolution into love. And that this particular hybrid species that's been on our planet, that's been pushing us forward, is actually they've had their own agenda, and they've been attempting to make sure that their agenda is the one that was successful. But that's not going to happen now. And their agenda also didn't include every single person on the planet, where with love, let's include everyone on our planet. Let's be inclusive. And that's a huge energy that we've been working with now as a humanity for a while. So it is about being inclusive as much as we possibly can. And what we've had in the past has been a very different regime from that kind of energy, but it's over now, and it's moving itself out, and it's ending, it's moving away, it's disintegrating in front of our very eyes, even though it's taking a little bit of time for the full effect of that to be done. And so what can you do right now as these changes are going through? Well, what they've said is that all these channelers that are coming through right now are teaching you, assisting you to know more about yourself, to be who you really are, to be more of a love energy, and to be in the heart. I've done many videos about the heart. And so if that's heart-centered energy, something you're interested in, please go back and look at some of those videos, because they do talk more about how to be in the heart. And this is something that I personally have gone through in my own life's journey. And so I do have the ability to teach and speak about being heart-centered. And that is where we're going. That's where I'm going to be continuing to teach for the rest of my life. This is my purpose, to help individuals be more heart-centered and live life ruled and run by the heart. And it is an evolution that we're going through as a species, and it is going to take time. And so there are going to be many teachers, including myself, who have already come forward and will continue to be coming forward to bring you the messages and this light and this love and this energy to assist you to move into this new dimension. So some of you may really struggle with this energy of being heart-centered, but you have the capability to do it. You have the capacity, the ability, and you can access and integrate it into your being by focusing on acceptance, love, and really seeing that we really are all the same. And in order to do that, you kind of have to really focus on yourself first. So this is not a general teaching that has been so far in our society. You know, everybody says, oh, it's selfish to take care of yourself. No, it's not. It is self-care, and it is absolutely required, because unless you know yourself, you can't help anybody else. So you are your number one priority, and you need to take really, really good care of you and get more grounded in who you really are, knowing yourself from an authentic, heart-centered place. And so when you do that, you'll have more access to your spiritual heart and the essence of who you really are, because that's really what you bring to the table. That's what you want to be living from in the journey of being human. So lots of changes coming forward. And yes, we're on this evolutionary journey, moving out of a pretty dark place, but we're moving into light. And we have many teachers, including myself, who are here to assist you with the journey. And we're all going to help you in different ways, because we're all different. And we've all had our own journeys, and we've all had our different experiences, which means that we can assist you based on what we know. And we will, you know, be able to know whether or not we're the right person for you. And you'll be able to check into that as well. So lots of changes coming. Being rooted in love and compassion and joy and empathy is really critical, so that you can understand that everyone holds a special piece of this. This entire experience is made up of many, many, many different experiences. And we just are assisting each other in making the journey more smooth. So as a group, we are taking responsibility for helping each other to do this. And as all of these messages come through here for me and for you, I will bring them to you and assist you on this journey, so that it's going to be a little easier as we move forward. If you've enjoyed listening to this video, please like it, share, subscribe. And if you want to stay up to date with what I'm doing, please subscribe to my website. And until I bring my next message to you, thank you so much for watching and for listening. And I am sending you lots and lots of love.